Roblox CEO, try not to do the weirdest thing you can possibly do in any given situation you find yourself challenged. Impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, the massively popular game Roblox has been going through a rough time over these last few months. And in moves that are very foreign to massive corporations, it seems like every chance that they get to make things better, even slightly, they fumble in a way previously thought to be impossible. And over these last few weeks, they're reaching new heights. Now, if you've somehow stumbled upon this video and you don't know what Roblox is, welcome to the internet, I guess. I'm gonna be your guide. I feel like pretty much everybody's gonna have heard of Roblox these days because you're either young enough to have grown up with it or played it, or you're old enough to have children who are obsessed with it. But just in case you're neither of those things, I'll give you the bare bones. To put it simply, Roblox is a massive online game that is made up of a bunch of smaller games created within the Roblox engine. There's not really like one specific game that is Roblox. They all just share the same platform, with pretty much all of the games on Roblox being made by individuals or third-party developers. Now, with this being the case, there's not really like a specific age that Roblox is targeted to on paper, but in practice, it is very much so a platform that is predominantly used by children. It's estimated that nearly half of Roblox players are under 13, with a majority of Roblox players being under 18. And unfortunately, with this being the case, just like anything on the internet these days, where there's a large collection of children, there will be a large collection of people who want to prey on children. And more than really any other game of its kind right now, it seems, Roblox is experiencing what's essentially an epidemic of children being groomed and victimized as a result of their platform. Now, sure, part of this is just because of the scale of Roblox. There's really just like nothing else on the internet that promotes the kind of personal interaction that Roblox does, while also having the insane amount of children that there are on Roblox. And while that's obviously not helping the situation, it's in no way, shape, or form the entire story. Moderation on Roblox has been dog shit for a long time now. They take a very reactive approach to moderation rather than preventative. And when one of the biggest issues on your website is children being groomed, if you're not really doing a whole lot to prevent that and really only reacting to it after it's already been done, that leaves a lot of time for life-ruining damage to already have happened. And who would have guessed parents and lawmakers alike are not super cool with that. Over the last few months, Roblox has been getting absolutely fucking ass blasted by lawsuits left and right, and they've pretty much all been for the exact same reason, which is children becoming victims as a result of using Roblox in some way. Like I said, there's a number of these lawsuits going on right now, with the biggest probably being the one coming out of Louisiana, which is not just one specific family suing Roblox, it's the state of Louisiana suing Roblox. The Louisiana Attorney General is calling Roblox a systemic public safety issue and a perfect place for pedophiles. There's also another huge one coming from the Dolman Law Group, which currently includes over 300 different families across the country, kind of showing how this is like a genuine systemic issue. These aren't just one-off incidents, there is something about Roblox that causes this to keep happening. Now, just to get ahead of this, because I've seen this a lot on the internet, seems like a lot of people hear about stuff like this and have the mindset of like, well, yeah, but you should be watching what your kids do on the internet. And like, sure, that's true, but a lot of the responsibility still does fall on Roblox. You can't make billions of dollars a year advertising yourself to parents as a child-safe platform, as a kid-friendly, kid-safe place to play and have fun, and then leave the gates wide open for predators to come and prey on the children that you are advertising to. You just don't get to do that. Obviously, I'm sure some of these situations could have been avoided if parents were more closely monitoring their children, but at the end of the day, if you're going to make a platform that is very much so catered towards children, and you're going to accept $20 a week from millions of parents across the world buying their kids Robux, all the while advertising your platform as a kid-friendly space, it is absolutely your responsibility to make sure you are doing those things in good faith. Anyways, those two cases that I mentioned specifically are not the only cases open right now. There are multiple cases across the country that are ongoing, and there seems to be more and more being filed seemingly every week. There's been multiple this month alone. And these things happening so often on Roblox is bad enough, but there are multiple external factors that are like halfway related to this that's making the optics of this situation, that's making the way that Roblox is handling all this just so much fucking worse. There's two in particular, and they're both so fucking bad in their own ways. The first one, and the one most people are talking about right now, is that recently a YouTuber known as Schlep, who's known for his like predator hunting, predator catching content on Roblox, was not only banned from Roblox for doing predator hunting, but also was sent a cease and desist from Roblox for what he was doing. And given the timelines here, given what we know, it really seems like Roblox did this, not because of the bullshit vigilante rule explanation they've given, but because this guy was exposing a pretty bad side of Roblox during a time when these lawsuits are stacking on top of each other. According to Schlep, his operations have led to 6 different predators getting arrested, and in the past, he's gone to Roblox with evidence, chat logs, videos, reports that he's filed in the past, and he says the company did nothing. But suddenly, when there's a new lawsuit getting sent to Roblox every week because so many children are being groomed on their platform, now they're gonna cease and desist and ban this guy because he's breaking Roblox terms of service. You'd think if that was actually the case, they would have done that when he went to them and said, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Are you guys gonna do anything? But they didn't. They wait until their PR could not be any worse, and they start doing damage control, it seems. And even if they're not doing damage control, why the fuck is this your priority? You've got lawsuit after lawsuit piling up about how your platform is dangerous, how you're endangering children, how you're profiting off of children being endangered, and you go to your team of lawyers and you're like, hey, so let's get working on that cease and desist for that guy trying to bring awareness to that. Got the fucking state of Louisiana suing you, and you're like, you know what? I think it's time that we start a legal battle with a YouTuber. So obviously, that's bad enough. If that was the only thing they decided to add to their public image right now, this situation as a whole would still have horrible optics. Because doing that, especially at a time like this, really makes it seem like they are not all that focused on child safety. They're focused on damage control. They're not worried about making the world's biggest platform for children more safe for children. They're focused on people not knowing that it's not a safe platform for children. But they've decided to take it a step further. A couple of years ago, you might have heard of this and thought it was a joke, but unfortunately it's not. The higher-ups at Roblox started to float the idea of making a fucking Roblox dating service. Now obviously, when this idea has been pitched, it's been pitched as something that will be for adults only, but I mean, I don't know how much better that really makes it. I know that adults play Roblox, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with an adult playing Roblox, but at the end of the day, it is a platform that's predominantly used by people under 18. So for the CEO to be looking for ideas to bring more adults to the platform, that's a little bit of a weird business decision in general. Usually most platforms, especially a fucking video game, are gonna pick a target demographic and they're gonna try and stick with that target demographic. Obviously, you can't do anything about people outside of your intended demographic playing your game normally. You can do things about people outside of your target demographic using your platform for malicious purposes, which Roblox has seemingly failed to do. But my point is that generally when it comes to an online game where players are constantly interacting with people, most people are not going to be like, hey, let's make a game where 9-year-olds and 30-year-olds are interacting with each other. So any sort of move to specifically bring people over the age of 21 onto your platform when the average age of your user is under 13 is weird. To do it specifically within the context of making it a fucking dating platform, that's genuinely the worst fucking idea I've ever heard of in my life. Roblox has had this issue of being sort of a predator stomping ground and a place where children become victims for a long time. Lawsuits like this just take a while to build. So the CEO seemingly not being all that concerned with making the platform more child-friendly and more concerned with bringing more adults onto the platform is very, very weird. And also, not to be judgmental, but I'm gonna be. If you're an adult and Roblox is the online platform you're gravitating towards to try and find a relationship, I'm sorry, but that's weird as fuck. Like I said, doing this at all, having this idea in the first place is crazy enough. But a month ago, the CEO fucking doubled down on this. You are in the midst of getting slapped across the face by lawsuits about child safety on your platform, and your response is, yeah, whatever. We want to be bringing the kind of adult who looks towards Roblox for a relationship onto the platform. What the fuck is going on? Something bad. Again, if you're an adult and you just enjoy playing Roblox, whatever, you do you. But if you're going on to Roblox to find a relationship, really, let's be honest here, if you're going on any fucking video game to find a relationship, I've played enough RuneScape in my life to see that shit go down, and that's a game that these days is basically only played by adults. You should not be looking for a relationship in any video game. Okay, if you need to hear that, take it to heart, please. But like I was saying, if you're an adult and you're going on to Roblox to find a relationship, how do I put this? I don't think many parents would be comfortable with you around their kid. Again, that might come across kind of harsh, but it's just the truth. There's a million dating apps out there these days. There's also just, you know, the outside world. Coffee shops, bars, clubs, activity groups for adults. You know, there's a lot of ways out there to meet your special someone. Roblox should not be on your radar. And for the CEO to have this fucking hard-on for this idea about putting it on people's radar, it's just very strange. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Like I said, I think those are the two worst things that are adding to this situation right now, but there's also the issue that so many of the popular games on Roblox are like weird dating sims or worse. There was that big controversy about the condo games, which were basically games that were just for like making avatars fuck. You'd think something like that would not really be able to bypass the Roblox moderation, but like I mentioned earlier, Roblox seems to have a very reactive moderation mindset. You know, they wait for shit to happen and then like a year later they do something, but it doesn't really seem like they're putting in the time to make these systems that prevent these kind of things from happening to begin with. Like, it just seems like they're more concerned about shit like making sure the Robux transaction is going to go through smoothly when you want to buy Robux to make your tits bigger in a condo game, but God forbid they put in a system that just doesn't allow games where your character gets naked. Obviously, that's kind of a generalization, kind of an exaggeration, but only kind of. It just seems like with every opportunity that they've been given, the higher-ups at Roblox have chosen the wrong path, the wrong set of priorities. And after a while, it kind of starts to get hard to write those off as just like bad business decisions or the wrong thing chosen under pressure. You kind of start to see a pattern and you're like, why does this shit keep happening? And I think that's why lawyers are beginning to step in here. These aren't one-off incidents. There's beginning to seem like there's a pattern here and something needs to be done. Hopefully, we see these lawsuits make some real changes. You know, it's really shitty that it had to come to this. You can't unruin these children's lives. No sort of decision, no sort of settlement from these lawsuits is going to take back what the kids had to experience. So, you know, it's sort of like a lose-lose situation. There's not really going to be a winner here. It's just going to be which outcome is less of a loss. So that's really fun to think about. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said, this whole thing would be bad enough if Roblox was just facing these lawsuits and that was it. But when you start to like stack all of these things happening at the same time, you really start to question what the fuck is going on over there. Like, what is going on as you climb the Roblox corporate ladder that is leading to shit like this happening in so many different aspects of the company? Not here to speculate, not here to spread rumors, but it just is weird. Something seems off. Like I said, part of it is definitely just because there are so many kids who play Roblox, but there's a lot of kids on a lot of different platforms playing a lot of different video games. But this just seems to be sort of unique, and it's an issue that I hope we see fixed very shortly. Will we? I've learned to not get my hopes up. See ya.